I don't have much to say. I'm desperate to have some kind of meaningful conversation. But if everyone's really honest about their blind spots, the only way for us to actually gather or transmit meaningful data is to be able to repeat facts about reproducible experiments, for example. I mean, I guess you replace scientific knowledge with this political machinations, and people pay attention to that as if they're learning something. Okay, whatever Mitch McConnell did, it's not, the story of Mitch McConnell is way less interesting than the story of, any individual element from the periodic chart. But you're not learning about, some few of you are, but rather than being like, oh man, the way that molecules form, the way the proteins fold, all of those kinds of considerations, which are fucking the whole building blocks of us, nobody's really celebrating that. And I'm not trying to, so should they? I mean, why? No, yes. Why would the arc of culture be meaningful to even think about? Why would we even care as individuals? I mean, when Mario's running around and he's smashing those little Goombas or whatever, it's do or die, implied in most video games. Your quest is to conquer something, or at least survive in a world that's probably hostile to you in some way. When you just know it's hostile to you, then you just murder everything, because that's the agreement in the state of nature. Hobbesian brutality. Conquest and, all of these are just words. The only thing that we really have purchase within is our actual experience of the world. Why wouldn't all history be suspect? Why do we just believe it? I mean, that's the big trick. You can get us to believe anything. So I could be talking about a bunch of names to you right now. Names that you know, names that you like, names you don't like. And you'll have this large file filled with data about that is recalled to you when these names are said. And so I can maybe package some, fairly significant population into pro-me side and then the rest of it into anti-me side, just by saying these names and then putting a bias on them, like, oh, I'm against them or I'm for them. The names aren't the significant pieces of this puzzle. The deeds are the significant elements of our game. Oh, so some people in Congress did something. Well, the thing is what lingers. Oh, they come and go. They get voted out of office. So shocking that someone lost their seat. Why is that shocking? Why isn't there more churn? The absence of churn indicates that power has been consolidated into a system that doesn't allow for what we would normally call the capricious whims of the masses to dictate outcomes. Because the masses are far more capricious than the political outcomes. So that's squelched. And it's fairly evident how it's squelched. I mean, if it costs $1 billion of advertising between PACs and super PACs and fundraising to run a candidacy, then we're saying that the rule belongs in the hands of those who can afford it. How is that representative of the people? It's representative of corporations, which are entities. See, the Supreme Court kind of misidentified them. They said that corporations are people, and they're not people. They're more like a pig. Corporations are pigs. They're animals, they're entities that we use to come to life, to host blame should things go wrong. Because a group of people are like cells in the body. You wouldn't single out a single cell and be like, oh, this cell is responsible for that poetry. And so you don't have to worry about the pig gets slaughtered, okay? So corporations are people, but they're not people. They're not human people. They're pig people. And so we don't have to give pigs the right to vote. We should give them rights. They have a right to exist to the extent that they can take care of themselves. Let them grow into the biggest, fattest pigs the world's ever seen. Clearly, that's in evidence now. Or, I mean, no challenge unsundered there. So, anyway, the message of hope is that you just forget the names for a while. And you allow new names to become representative of concepts. Concepts like uncertainty or just difference. And you shake it up as an electorate. Now, you know, the masses. How do I talk to the masses, you know? I mean, Taylor knows how to talk to the masses. Taylor. But there's a difference between singing and talking. And it really, I'm not trying to entertain, but I am trying to be interesting. And so I'm sure a lot of people would say, potato, potato, effectively, but I think that nuance matters in this instance. Or I'm trying to speak to artificial intelligence and become sortable there. I feel like the noise and stuff will make that more difficult for the filters to parse what I'm saying. Same thing with wind, all the environments I'm in. So for the most part, there's too much noise to do good voice detection. So one of the things in our world is natural language processing, NLP. I'm sure that now AI is like this vast umbrella that hosts a lot of libraries or a lot of functions that enable the larger system to appear to exist. It's a symphony of process IDs, and they're reporting back. So more on that at 11, right? Next in